trying to think. There was a few things I was wondering about. Let's see here. Sum the even odd numbers. Okay, so I need to collect, I guess, how many are even and how many are odd, and that's where I was kind of confused at. Where is that? Does that have to be in part of the function as well? Because you said the function has to have this generates the sum of the even and odd.
Okay, let me pull up the assignment and you can go over.
Okay.
I'm going to send this out to anyone who wants to join.
What was that?
I'm going to send this out to anyone who wants to join on
Okay.
quickly on my courses. Alright, so now I'm going to go get your assignment. Is this something you turned in or was it an email?
No, it's something, I know I didn't turn it in because I couldn't figure out to get the right answer for the first one or the last one. I kind of did the second one and I missed a couple things. So you had sent me a link to Stack Overflow, so I'm sure I'll just go through that and figure out the second one by using Stack Overflow. I was just, I guess my issues was with the first question and the last question.
Sure, let me get your assignment.
I did Python and it was pretty easy, so I don't know why I'm having difficulty with this now, but.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little difficult when you haven't been able to.
Yeah, well, I look at a computer all day. I make websites, so I'm doing coding all day, but basic HTML and stuff. So I guess just my brain is just fried by the end of the day, you know?
Mm-hmm. I cannot find your zip file.
Yeah, so the zip file only has the second program. It doesn't have the other two. I didn't end up turning those in. I have to try to redo those tonight.
Could you forward that to me in the email?
What I did get done?
Yeah, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, I can do that. Let's see. I'll just reply to one of your emails from last night and send the attachment.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much in there. Like I said, I only turned in the one program. The other two I was having difficulty with, but let's see here. Oh yeah, that is left.
Alright, so our prime, we'll open that up here.
Yeah, that was just the prime one. Yeah, I think I did that incorrectly because I didn't actually add or generate the or figure out the
Yeah, so what we have here missing is you are generating one random number, but we want to generate 100 random numbers in an array. So the quick way to do that is a for loop for I equals 0, I plus 10, 100, I plus plus. And then here we can generate a random number. That. And then maybe we want to create a variable, an array. Just an array. Let's see, we can do the random number array. Random array. And now since we generated a random number, we're going to add that to the array. And an easy way to do that is use the random number array dot push, and then you push the random number into it.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that, or do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that, yes.
Okay, so then this generates 100 random numbers, and we can print that out every time. So we'll do console log number. So if you see that, we're generating 100 random numbers. I ran it down here, you can see, and we are generating 100 random numbers.
Okay.
And so now, since we have our random numbers, we want to do our checking to see if it is prime or not.
Right.
And the is prime, I think I sent you that.
The link to Stack Overflow?
Yeah, so we can just take a quick look at that.
What was that? I couldn't have a hard time hearing you. What was that?
Yeah. Prime numbers. So it just kind of shows you how to do it.
Okay. Yep, I do have that link, so that would be good.
I can figure out where that that website is. So here it's not too hard, the prime number. So we're just going to update your, can you see my screen good enough?
Okay.
Okay. I'll maybe zoom this in a little bit to make it a little bigger.
That's perfect.
Okay. So here, we'll just clear this out. We'll comment this out. There is prime. We'll just kind of take what they have here.
Okay.
And actually, this probably will almost work identically.
Oh, okay.
But we don't want to return anything. Or for JavaScript, you don't declare what type of return value. It is done all under the cover, so you just do function.
Right. Okay.
And I like the camel case the best, so like lowercase, and then each name. Okay. Yeah. So we start at 2, and we go to the number being passed in, and we increment it by 1. And what we do is we take the number divided by the I, and if we don't get a remainder, if it's 0, that means it can be divided by a number.
Okay.
Either 2 or greater, and that means it's not prime.
Okay, right, that makes sense.
And also if I is not equal to the number. So if the number was 7, it can be prime and equal to the number, so you get to the I, and they're equal, so that's a case that is okay, that it is equal. So that's where we're checking to make sure that it's not equal. So we go through this for loop until we hit the next number. being passed in. And if we don't return out, that means it is a prime number. So if we just take this and did plus is prime and pass in the random number. Right. Let's see, is prime, return, unexpected token is prime. Oh, we're missing an extra bracket. Doesn't like that either. Oh yeah, we have to do var.
Var number. Okay, so you can't do int with
Right. This was C# code.
Right. So I guess overall it's kind of the same. It's just a little few things here and there.
Yeah, a little bit of things here and there. And for some reason it's not liking this. Maybe for function we don't have to pass. I forget. I don't do C# during my daytime.
Oh, okay.
We're not printing out whether it's true or false. Why is that? Oh, that's because your function needs to be, I believe your function needs to be declared before you call it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, let's see. Nope, that's not doing it either. So maybe we should just do it in another console log. I'm not sure. Trying something else.
Okay.
There we go. If we look at the next line, it shows the false. It just isn't liking that. What I think it was, if we undo, trying to add this number with this return, which is the false. So I think if we did, or if we did string around the number, str, we can cast it like this. We want to comment this out. And we want to add a space right there. We run it. Of course, string is not defined. String. Here we go. So now we have it on the one line. So what was happening was it was trying to do some mathematical operation. But now since we casted a string, this plus sign is a concatenation, so it combines all these strings into one.
Okay, so that's the best way to go about setting that up then. Okay.
Well, this is one way. And this isn't, this is, I think, yeah, this is pretty much the assignment. Which is fine. The other assignments are a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So pretty much here we are learning how to add the item to the array. We're not really using the array because we're just testing it on the console log. But a good thing to do is loop through the array, which is not too hard. We can just show you how to do that. So I equals 0. And then I is less than the rand number array length, length, and then I plus plus. So that means if we were to increase this to like 1,000, this for loop will adjust. We don't have to hard code it, so that's a good thing to do.
Oh, okay.
And so then here you would, you can dive into the array and index into the array like this. So this is how you access like the random array at 0, and it would just go through and walk through the array like that. And so then there you would want to do your test is prime, this kind of list thing. So I'll leave that for you to do for the is prime. So here we're kind of covering how to generate random numbers with the min and max.
Okay.
How to insert items into an array, how to get items out of the array like this by indexing.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else that's really needed? I think that pretty much covers, other than functions, I think that pretty much covers most of the assignment, like functionality-wise. Sometimes we have functions we want to pass in multiple arguments, like this is an argument you pass in. Sometimes, like, you might want to pass in like 2 numbers that you want to check to see if are prime or something like that. So like number 2, and then maybe you want to do this, like keep some track of something and use the number 2 or something like that. I don't know. Or when you see that it isn't prime, print out number 2, or some kind of string, like saying error code, code that you'd want to print out if the prime isn't there or something like that. So then you would pass the is prime with the error code, like this is not prime. And then we can do that like this. So before we do the return, I'm going to print out console.log error code. And if we run it, now we have this is not prime, and then it prints out afterwards 36 is false.
Okay, so that's where we need to set it up then for the second
Yeah, so that's just like an example of how to pass in multiple arguments in a function.
Okay.
Is there any other specific things maybe you're confused on? Maybe I can do a little overview of what the assignment is.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, so for the first question, I guess the only thing I was interested in, okay, so I need to add this in the numbers.
This is the first one. We have odd even, and we want to write a program that generates 100 random numbers. You can do that. Pretty easy to generate 100 random numbers.
Right.
And then what we want to do is keep count of those random numbers, even, and then odd.
We're having issues.
Okay, so I'm just going to take this, copy it, and just override on your prime function.
Okay.
So it's a little easier for me to start working this in a JavaScript file. So now, we do our generate the random numbers. Actually, maybe I should. Here. And clean this up a little bit. We're not going to need this anymore. We don't really need this anymore. So yeah, so we don't really need this anymore. So we generate our 100 random numbers again. This time, we will maybe want to do it from 1 to 1,000.
Okay.
And now we want to keep count of all the evens and all the odds. So then you would want a function is even or something like that, and you pass in the number x, and maybe you'll do your testing. I'm not going to actually do it, but do testing for even.
Okay.
And if that passes, it's pretty much divided by 2, and if there's no remainder, then that it means it's even. Then even. Else it's odd. So test for even. If so, return true. Else it's odd. Return false.
Okay.
Now we maybe we don't really need to have one random array. We want to have 2 arrays to keep track of all the evens and they keep track of all the odds. So
Okay, so maybe
var,
that's okay.
var odd array.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one option. Another option is just to throw them all in the random number and then go over them again. Go over them again with another for loop and do your testing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is in a certain case, then you, so maybe that's a little simpler. We'll just stick with one array. So then what we want to have is 4 different variables: odd count equals 0. And then we want to have even count, even count, 0, then odd sum.
Okay.
So we want to have the sum of the odds, and then we want to have the even sum. So now we want to have another for loop, like I said before, to go back over the array. So I equals 0, I equals 0, I less than random number array dot length. And if I'm going too fast or you're not following, stop me.
No, you're fine. I think I'm getting it.
Okay. And then you do your test. Use the is even. Your random number array. And pass in I. Like that. And then you can either do this in an if statement, is even, or you can return a value.
Okay.
Else, then this is a odd case. So we have our even case and our odd case, and then now, since we check to see and know it's even, this is where you add the random number, the specific random number, to the count, the total odd, to add the even count, and then increment the even count. Actually, you add that to the even sum right here. So pretty much you do the same thing for the odd, just down right there. And then afterwards, after this for loop, you print all the totals. So that's pretty much this assignment for. So you generate all your random numbers, then you want to keep track of how many odds, how many evens, and then you want to have the sum of all the even numbers and the sum of all the odd numbers. So then you have a function to check whether it's odd and even, and then it looks like we need to have a function that returns the sum of the given array. So then maybe, so this was one way of doing it, but I think forgot. So we want you to have pretty much 2 arrays. So like I was first starting to say is right here when you generate your number, maybe you do your check is even. If it is even, add it to the even array, and then if it's not, add it to the odd array.
Okay.
So then it's pretty easy to get the count. You don't actually have to like do the increment of the even account. You can just do like the even array dot length, kind of like how you did right here for this, because you'll know how many items there are.
Right. Using
the property length. And then you just need another function to get the sum. So it'd be like function sum of array, and then you pass in the array. And then you just pretty much go through the array in a loop, kind of like this, or loop 0 to blank, and create like a variable sum And you go through that loop, like I say, for loop. And then after you're done with your for loop, you would return like that. So that is pretty much how you would do that.
Okay.
Sum array. So I think that covers this function or this assignment.
Okay.
Is that kind of clear? Does that clear some things up, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I think so. It should pretty much help me out with the last assignment as well. I think.
So then the last one, it looks like we have a savings account, and we want to learn how to use the compounding interest.
Uh-huh.
So I'm doing this right here. So yeah, so what you would do is you would generate a random number for your present value, starting account, the present value.
Mm-hmm.
That could be 100. Oh, we don't have a definition, so that can be like 100 to 2,000 or something like that.
Okay.
And then you generate your interest between 0 and 10%. A lot of people are getting tripped up on that.
Right.
Because they're generating a number between 0 and 10, which is correct, but you want to make sure it's in a percent, which means you have to divide that by 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that has been tripping some people up on here. And then just generating the months, which is 1 to 100, pretty simple, straightforward. One thing to note is you want to do the floor function on the months, so you don't get like a decimal place. Kind of the same thing with pretty much all of these. You just want to have a floor. Well, the present value doesn't have to be a floor. You can do the round or 2 fixed point of 2 decimal places. That will be fine. But
Okay.
for the monthly interest, you probably want to do the floor or 2 fixed point. Probably 2 fixed point. That would be good.
Okay.
And then you just use this function right here, the p times. Make sure this is a time symbol. Some people thought that would, I don't know what they thought. They just put X, and that doesn't really work.
Right.
And then the 1 plus I to the t. You can actually use this, and that works, or you can do the math, pow, and that would be 1 plus I, comma, t. Like that. So it's the base to the whatever it's raised to the power. So it's base and power.
Okay.
I'm sure you can find that online if you get tripped up on it.
Right.
So that's pretty much that. So you do that whole thing 5 times in a loop, 5 times.
Okay, so you do five separate loops.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
All right. Okay.
So I think that covers those assignments. If you have any more questions, yeah, feel free to email me or whatever, or if you want me to cover any other things.
I can't really think of anything that's.
Or like I'll, instead of showing you like odd or even, I'll show you how to check if it is divisible by 5. So like a function divisible by 5. We pass in x. In order to do that, we would do if x modulo 5 equals 0, return true. Else, return false. So it's kind of the same thing with the odd or even, but that would be like a 2 for even, and then we can kind of create not divisible by 5. Not divisible by 5, which would be like this. So it's not equal to 0. So we want to make sure that anything that we divide 5 by does not have a remainder. So that means that would be true. Or you can take this and just switch to true, false, but that gets a little confusing. So this is a little more straightforward. So it'd be the same thing with the odd, even, but this would be, like I said, a 2.
Okay.
So,
All right.
other than that, I think that covers pretty much everything.
Okay, that should help me out. I'll be working on that tonight. Do I need to get that into you tonight? Is there a specific time I have to have it into you by? Just
No time.
Okay.
Whenever you can get it to me.
Okay, thank you so much for all of your help.
No problem.
All right.
I think other people probably. I think then one other person wanted some session, but they couldn't make it. So I think this is being recorded. If that's okay.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it out to everyone if that's all right with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. If you don't want me to, I don't have to.
No, I don't
I
think
know.
it'd probably be good to have. I'll have access to that.
Yeah, I think so. I'll send you the link, but I think that this should go more like on a YouTube account or something like that.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll make it so that only people who have the link can view it. I'll make it like that.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Well,
Alrighty.
thank you very much for your help.
No problem. And
Alrighty.
I guess I'll talk to you later.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.